A while back, we had the battle of the Planars. Every chifi company out there was releasing a Planar IEM left, right and center. Okay, fine, maybe not all companies, but there were three that were quite prominent. Of course, we are talking about Let Shouer, 7Hz and Tangzu. So it was hyping, but was it worth it after all the dust have settled? I'm asking this because I think it is a good time to get some of these IEMs now, as they are very often on discount. Great for those of you who want to save some dough and yet have a great sounding pair. As such, we will be comparing the Let Shouer S12 Pro, 7Hz Timeless AE and the Tangzu Heyday. These are the most definitive versions of the models that they are based on. So let's start off with the Let Shouer S12 Pro. I haven't actually done a review on the S12 Pro, not really because I don't want to, but rather for the longest time I could not get my hands on one. Looks matter, and on the S12 Pro, I think that they have created a very functional chassis that fits ears very comfortably. For me, it just plants itself there and I can easily sit through half a day in the office with them in my ears without much complaints. I cannot really say the same about the 7Hz or Tangzu. But the S12 Pro, honestly, it's one heck of a boring looking IEM. I know I have been complaining about custom universal shapes, but the S12 Pro just leaves much to be desired in the realm of looks. I do rather like the rectangular detailing near the 2-pin connector for them to have some sort of visual identifier. Of course, you can swap cables with the 2-pin termination. I do not have the stock cable with me, but the stock cables does have swappable plugs to change between single-ended and balanced. Apart from that, it features a very rounded body that is built very well. Internally, there is no surprise as it features a planar driver. So Sonics, the S12 Pro features a balanced V-shaped tuning, which basically means that it has an emphasized bass and treble, with mid-range being slightly recessed. I think that they managed to strike a balance quite well with the S12 Pro. Yes, mid-range is recessed, but I do not find that they are that far back and still sound rather prominent in the mix, as we tend to perceive vocal sections a little bit better than bass and treble anyways. The S12 Pro bass prioritized mid-bass over sub as they roll off quite quickly at about 40 to 50 Hz. The bulk of the presentation remains in the mid-bass region, and I think that the S12 Pro is one that does a good job at that. Transients is pretty darn fast despite being mostly mid-bass. As such, you don't get too much of that bloat that is commonly associated with having elevated mid-bass. Mid-range, despite them being recessed, I do not find that they are that recessed. I think details on the mid-range are exemplary. They have a very nice balance of warmth added to the voicing and instruments that is aided by the boost in the upper mids. Voice and instruments have very good shape. Treble is balanced very well with the mids and bass. They are sparky enough that gives the S12 Pro good air and have very decent extension. Your usual agents of sibilance have been kept well here, as cymbals have a nice shimmer and decay is also quite quick as well. Next, let's talk about the Timeless AE. Another planar that is often mentioned is the Timeless and Timeless AE. If you're watching this video in July 2023, just consider the AE, as I think that they are better than the original. The Timeless AE has quite an iconic shape that might not suit everyone, but they do look very distinct when you want to have a circle accessory in your ear. I do like its anodized aluminum body as well. I think that the Timeless AE looks nice, and I often wonder, how do you put them in your ears? They work well on me, but I can see that fit can be an issue for others. Yet again, no surprises here, but it does have a planar driver inside it. So the Timeless AE is an intricately balanced V-shaped IEM that gives a very satisfying low end that is matched well with well-controlled treble frequencies. The thing about V-shaped tunings is that it can go quite wrong, especially when the balance and bass and treble it's pretty mismatched. But I'm very glad to say that it does balance these two factors quite well. Of course, typical of this nature, again, the mid-range sits a little bit more recessed. It's like basically watching the bass and treble take a bit of the limelight. Between the three, I do feel that the Timeless AE is the brightest, but I still think that they are overall very well balanced. Bass. I do enjoy the resonant rumbles on the sub-bass frequencies of the Timeless AE. Sub-bass is the most prominent on the Timeless. It tapers quite quickly into the mid-bass, and as such allows for the mid-range to be very well separated from other frequencies. Control on the bass is also pretty spot on. The balance between control and resonance on the Timeless AE is easily very classy. You want some resonance in the tone to make the overall tone pretty lush, fun and enjoyable, but also want the control to maintain the overall tonal picture. There is such a good thing as having too much of a good thing, but the Timeless AE does a very well job in balancing that. Speed here is pretty fast. Overall, the bass tone is able to cover the entire sonic scape. Mid-range is also rendered very sweetly on the Timeless AE. I like the amount of shape that you get with them, as the slightly elevated treble response really helps with this. This contributes to the overall good vocal clarity characteristics of the Timeless AE. Mid-range is slightly recessed, but it maintains clarity that allows it to be conspicuous enough in the whole sonic scape to stand toe-to-toe with the elevated bass and treble levels. I would say that the Timeless is quite transparent when it comes to the mid-range. Tonal color is also very consistent on the Timeless AE, as timbre on male and vocals here sounds very similar, which is nice. I just like that it's pretty consistent. Details and resolution here is also pretty darn fantastic. And when we talk about treble, the treble is a little bit more energetic on the Timeless AE, allowing it to have really good extension and overall pretty good resolution. I do find that it is overall pretty airy sounding. The radiance on the treble is sparkly, but I never found it to be rough. It has the most treble energy of the lot, and this benefits the rest of the ranges through harmonics. And lastly, the Tangzu Heyday. As you know, Tangzu actually has two planar offerings, the original Wu Zhe Tian and the updated Heyday. I won't really talk much about the Wu Zhe Tian as I found it to be a bit lacking in terms of build and sonics. Anyways, it has also been discontinued. So the Heyday is an improvement over the original. This time round, it features a full metal chassis that is a big improvement over the cheap plastic Vision Years EXT wannabe body. No surprises yet again, internally it has a planar driver. And when it comes to sound, yet again, these are also a V-shaped pair that does not have much treble as compared to the S12 Pro and Timeless AE. They are a darker sound by comparison, so for fans of bassier IEMs, you can apply here. Bass. Sub-bass here is really tight and has really good rumble. Speed on the Heyday is also fast, but I don't think that it's actually faster than the S12 or the Timeless AE. One thing to note about the Heyday is that there is quite a bit of bass, and this kind of colors the rest of the frequencies as well. And next, moving on to mid-range. Mid-range, honestly, on the Heyday is pretty smooth overall with average level of details, but as the Heyday focuses more on the lower harmonics done by the bass, I think by comparison to the others mentioned here, they do not separate as well, but there is a very nice overall smooth tone. Mid-range here is very lush and velvety. Treble. Treble here is unobstructive. What I mean is that they do not really overextend themselves, with the cymbals being adequately shimmery that retreats quite quickly. I do wish for a bit more treble presence though. And so these are just my quick thoughts about these three planar IEMs. I think that my favorite amongst the three would be a tie between the Let Shouer S12 Pro and the Timeless AE. There is something very nice with the S12 Pro being the most balanced of the lot, with very quick overall transients that makes it very suitable for a lot of genres. The Timeless AE is similar but does so with a little bit more radiance in the treble section. I do not find them to be overly bright but maintain a very good balance with the rest of the frequencies. I do find that when it comes to details, it is actually superior compared to the rest. Overall excellent with a very fast transients. The Heyday is one for someone who likes a liquid, velvety and lush IEM. They do not have the same levels of separation as the S12 Pro and Timeless AE, but would be a good choice for someone who likes old school warm vocals with slightly slower resonance. But really, at the end of the day, it's a matter of preference, and each of these planar IEMs are really quite excellent in its own right. So if you are the type of person who likes the warmer sort of sound, go for the Heyday. But if you want something that is a bit more balanced and maybe a little bit more sparkly, go for the S12 Pro or Timeless AE. And with that said, thank you guys for watching the Super Chong Super Audio Show. I hope you like this type of comparison videos. I'll try to do more of them in the future. The next video would probably not be in the middle of the week, as I will be traveling by the time you see this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the content so far, please press the like and subscribe button somewhere down below. It will help me out a lot. Hope to see you guys soon.